Hello, here is lesson 11 from your daily math entry activities. So the first one is a subtraction problem, 601 minus 498. So we are taking 498 away from 601. This one's going to involve some regrouping. Remember, I can't just take the 1 from the 8 and put 7. We are taking the 8 away from this whole 601. And since 1 is less than 8, it's going to involve some regrouping. Next door is a 0, so I'm going to have to come all the way over to the 6 and regroup here. 5 and 1 is 6. Now I'm going to take 1 off that 10 and bring it over here. Now I have 11 minus 8 is 3, 9 minus 9 is 0, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So 103. The product, when you see product, you should be thinking multiply. So we are multiplying 1,325 times 6. As usual, we could just add 6 of these, but we will practice this new method we have where we break 1,325 into its place value parts. And we'll multiply 6 times each of those parts, and then we'll add them all back together. So 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. 6 times 300, I've got 6 times 3 is 18. But this was 300, so it's 1,800. 6 times 20, 6 times 2 is 12, but this was 2 tens, so we have 12 tens. And 6 times 5 is 30. And now we've got to add these all up, and I think I will stack them up to make that easier to see. So 6,000, 1,800, or 1,800. Those both mean the same thing. 120 and 30. Let's see, I've got 7,950. Remember, you should be writing down all this work, even if you had this answer some other way. Start learning this way, have it make sense. And the best way to make it make sense is to write it all down. Okay, number 3, we've got a pattern. A pattern is created using a rule. Okay, the rule is start with 4. That is why on the first term they have a 4, because the pattern, the rule says start with 4. And then you multiply by 4. So 4 times 4 got us to 16. Now to get to this next one, we've got to times that by 4. So 16 times 4. I'll do a quick, you know what? I'm just going to grab a piece of paper. So 16 times 4. I'll break 16 into 10 and 6. I'm multiplying by 4. 4 times 10 is 40, and 6 times 4 is 24. Add those up, and I get 64. So the next number in my pattern is 64. Now I have to keep following the rule. So I'm going to times 64 times 4 to get my next term in the pattern. So now I'll break 64 into 60 and 4, and I'll multiply that times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 6 is 24, but I've got that extra 0. Now I add that up, I get 256. So my next term is 256. And of course, to get the fifth term, I have to multiply that by 4. So we'll break 256 into its different place values. We're still multiplying everything times 4. Okay, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 5 is 20. And you notice the zeros match here, but the 4 times 5 got me the 20, and I haven't placed this extra 0. It wouldn't really make sense for 4 times 5 to be for 4 times 50 to be 20, because 20 is less than 50. Last, I've got 4 times 2 is 8, and I've got to place my 2 zeros, so 800. I know 800 and 200 is 1,000, so 1,024. And I could do the sixth term by timesing that by 4, but since our table only goes to the fifth term, we'll stop there. Okay, number 4. After 3 hours of working on his homework, Kyle decides to wash dishes. He washes dishes for 120 minutes. So wow, he's done a lot of homework and a lot of dishes. And let me see, how many hours was Kyle washing dishes for? How many hours? Was he washing dishes for 120 hours? No, it was 120 minutes. And you notice they're not even asking about his homework, right? It's a distractor. They're hoping you'll just write 3 hours there because you're not paying attention. But the 3 hours went with homework, and this is asking for dishes. So really we need to know how many hours is 120 minutes. So we have to know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And probably at that point, a lot of you realize, well, 60 plus 60 equals 120. So we have 2 60s, which means 2 hours. Okay, number 5, the sum. Let's do that thing. Take your notebook, write it sideways. I'm going to write out this whole number, 78,116 plus 52,127. Using the columns in your notebook paper really helps you keep everything lined up. 6 and 7 is 13. 2 and 2 more is 4. 1 and 1 is 2. 8 and 2 is 10. 7 plus 5 is 12. 13. Wow, I've got 130,243. 130,243. Lastly, 562 times 10. Now I could add up 10 of these 562s. I could do that same area model that we did before, one of these guys with 10 on the side and 500 plus 60 plus 2. But really this times 10 is a pattern that we've been working on. And I know that 1 times 562 will be 562. All I have to take care of is this 0. I just have to place this 0. This means 562 tens. And I just add a 0 to show that. Place a 0 to show that. So 5,620 is the answer to 562 times 10. Well, there you go. There are all 6 problems on lesson 11. As usual, double check that you have done all this scratch paper work and go back and redo your video or rewatch the video if you need anything re-explained, and always call us if you need something. Thanks for watching.